What is up guys, Wraec here with a new video, and today we got the release of Mikola on the test server. Only like 2 more days, 22nd of August at 0 UTC until she will be on the main server as well. Today I will give you a first impression, we'll check out her skills and basically get a first idea of what she's going to be, what she's going to do. First of all, we get another headwear, which is pretty cool. So like this time Mikola headwear. They seem to be doing this every single time now. You get it for the Mikola headwear quest, which is pretty easy. Mikola Ascender to Supreme Plus and get the affinity of 8000. Once again, you will gain some affinity, I think, during the event, which is pretty nice. She is another Mauler hero, Mauler S tier support. So a little bit like Smokey in that regard. And pretty interesting. People were always thinking that she's going to be a hero that is going to be released in the Mauler faction, because we saw her in the story and that was pretty good. I initially recorded the summons for her, which we didn't do a whole lot. We just got 1 copy. Sadly, yeah, that video file got destroyed. I don't know. Can't really say it. What happened? It is gone. So we'll have to live with that. We're just going to go into Dream Realm fight. She's very interesting. She's very interesting. We have 2 areas where we can test her. First of all, she is a little bit of a healer, so we are going to use her just like that. We don't really have an aura right now. What she does, and you already saw it, she makes these battlefields. Once you place her, this battlefield is put on the board. And the way this works is the Honor Arena. It says spanning the battlefield, which was initially interpreted as like the whole area, and lasts until the battle ends. And the side with more units in there will gain control of it and basically generate buffs for their team. So it can work for the enemy if you are unlucky, which is something we haven't seen yet. It is very interesting. So if the enemy would now place more units in there, or more units would walk in there, then Mikola would be kind of bad for us. But right now, we hope that this won't happen. I mean, this boss can summon units, so it might actually happen. I just sure hope it doesn't. So let's use Coco here maybe, so that we can just test her out and see her abilities, which is like the main goal. We just want to see it. So now we are in there and it shines green. So when it's green, it's generating buffs for us, which is pretty good. Didn't seem to change anything that the enemy units were placed in there. Odie is outside of this area. Mikola is in there. So it seems like Odie doesn't get the buffs. So if Odie doesn't get the buffs, if the heroes have to be in the area, which we'll check out, I didn't read up on that yet, then this is probably really like a little bit more melee focused. But then again, I mean, like in a PvP situation, if you have like a bigger map, I wonder how this works. If we place her in an arena and you have like this big map, big area. I mean, in some maps it might be really difficult to get your own team in there. So this wasn't bad though. I mean, we beat this boss fight and I tried it before, and before it didn't work, so we profited from this. We'll test it again in a second. I'm just wondering about those arena maps, how this is going to look. Maybe we can check that out as best information. So let's take Lucius out for a second. We put Mikola in there. I mean, on this map it works rather fine. We have it right in the middle there, so that is pretty cool. What about this map? I mean, it really is the same. It's like really this middle area where you really fight. I think on most maps it will work. But just like something like Arena 5, which I sadly can't show yet, there I think it might be a little bit difficult. Because this area is so small in which you really fight, because you often don't fight in the middle there, and you fight on one side and there are little units in there. Bit difficult actually. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure if I like her for that. Is also a question on how she works with summons and everything. It's also a little bit difficult. Like, let's check out this ability. So we generate the Honor Arena when a battle starts, lasting until the battle ends. Okay. The side with more units in the arena will gain control of it after maintaining the advantage for 3 seconds. So it takes 3 seconds to lose it, which is probably also why the boss didn't change our control, because the units were quickly gone. All allies. It says all allies, so every ally should gain the buff. I didn't see it on Odie, but that would mean it doesn't matter where the units are, as long as you have control of the honor arena, basically. So that is very interesting. And then we have this courage sphere, which I didn't see. Maybe I'll have to look out for that. It is supposed to be a 2-tile sphere that buffs your heroes and increases their haste by 40 and range depth by 10 for allies within range. So 2-tile is pretty big range, actually. Her own haste is increased and she heals based on the amount of damage she deals. Let's basically do another Dream Realm fight. Maybe try to get a few more heroes within that area. Maybe we'll build more of a team around this. I just today got Shark here, actually, so maybe we can make use of Shark here. Replace Ulmus with him. Put the Odie a little bit closer so that he has more of an opportunity to get into that area. We do it like this. And shall we put in another hero? I mean, I will keep Lily May for the moment. Yeah, I think that is alright. Let's try this. I want to see how that works out. So, we have the effect now under them. I think this is like the effect. Oh, Odie's gone. Okay, we didn't fight this guy yet. Now we should get the sphere. There it is. So it's like the music. The music there. The music area. It is pretty big. It is pretty big. So, not really a small buff at all. She is surviving pretty decently for her being just a single copy. Is pretty alright, actually. Tanking the boss there as well for, well, a few seconds at least. And, yeah, allowing us to survive even on this new ground against the hard boss. So, did pretty well, I think. At least for our single boss there. Yeah, decent heal. More damage than our Odie, but our Odie died at the beginning of the fight, so it's not really a fair comparison. Pretty okay. And I would say a good amount of buffs as well on her. With the 40 haste, that is quite the substantial amount, actually. I wonder how that fares. We have just finished our stage clearing here. How that fares on, like, a regular stage against our enemies there. Since when do we have those guys with crowns? Those are new. Okay, let me place a team. Okay, just thinking about it now already. Like, if we now place too many ranged heroes, we're already at the disadvantage. Like, if the enemy team would consist only of melee heroes and we would place only like 3 melee heroes, we'll probably already lose that inner area immediately, actually. So, that is already kind of a tough call to make. Now we have it, so now it's alright. Bringing us in a pretty good position. We get the ult there from Brutus. Brutus already dead. Can we get the Mikola ult? That would be pretty interesting. Takes her time. Really takes her time, actually. And I mean, the area, we got it under control, but it is something we definitely have to keep an eye out for. Got some decent heals there. Not too much damage dealt by her, really. Still more than our Brutus. But a decent amount of heal, definitely. For this power stage, we would definitely say that, considering, look at that, that's even with like 57k. I think for like her power level as well, that's really good. So, kind of looking forward to her, even though it is a bit weird. Let's try it on this stage. I really want to see the enemy win this. Like in a situation like this, it's also interesting. Like right now they're pushed so far behind that if one single enemy would go into this middle area, they would immediately win this this area over, because we have no unit in there actually right now. That is so weird. That's such a weird mechanic. And I'm like hesitant to say it's good, because I always feel like, oh, it might backfire. It might really backfire. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure I like it. Even though it's so cool, it's definitely one of the cooler mechanics that we got. Let's try it in like Legend Trial, but we don't really have too much to go there. I'm not sure she will be like an asset in there. For us, most definitely. I mean, we don't have too many good heroes. But we're just at the start. Yeah, we are way too OP for this for the moment. But she will be pretty interesting in there, and we are going to try this on my main account. I think that is really something to look forward to. One thing that I saw, and I was like a bit, I thought it was a bit weird. Her Legendary Plus is okay, like extra attack buff, that's nice. Her Mythic Plus I thought was a bit weird. Her Courage Sphere gets buffed, and when it's been active for 6 seconds, and then it grants combat fury to allied heroes within range, and that deals damage equal of 50% of her attack per second to enemies adjacent to these allies. So like, we also get damage here. I first thought like, okay, it's a bit low, and then I thought a bit more about it and was like, oh, hey, when you have like multiple heroes in there, and maybe even some summons, you get like your 4 Cs, and then maybe you get like your Flora Bell going, and suddenly you may have some summoned units even in there. And the question is, does allied heroes include these summoned units? And when you have suddenly like 5-6 heroes in there, maybe even a burial, we just saw him in hero drills, you get all of that in there, and suddenly you have this ton of heroes, adjacent by the way, meaning in the tile like next to the hero. And it could potentially be quite a lot of damage. And I wonder if we're going to establish like a little bit of a boss damage meta here by using Mikola maybe combined with summoning heroes. I don't know, definitely a team that I'm going to try. It's like Mikola and then going in for like the 4 Cs, the Flora Bell, a Shark here for potential attack buffs, and maybe Kruger for some fist debuff, because we have a fist damage dealer here. I think that could be pretty interesting. And of course we buff the attack there. We can go to +5, which is alright, or we can go to +15. I think +5 for testing is actually decent. We don't really need the vitality. So that's a pretty interesting effect. So I'm definitely looking forward to testing her and testing this specific team, and I'm wondering if we are going to go to mini meta. You can tell me in the comments down below if you want. Other than that, I would say for the moment, I wish you a great day, and we'll see us in the next one.